Welcome, moviegoers. How are we doing? Good, good. Do you have your ticket? All right, what do we have here? Real Swell. Good choice. You want to be in Auditorium 36? Straight ahead and to the right. Enjoy. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, Episode 7. Peter and Nico are trying to navigate what just happened. Nico is upset that Peter has been holding this secret from her for however long. She thought that they knew each other the deepest. They told each other everything and knew all of each other's secrets. That isn't the case, and she feels betrayed. Peter and Nico try to talk this out, and Peter doesn't know what to say because whatever excuse he does come up with, it doesn't change the fact that she is hurt. So she storms off and leaves him to sit on the stoop of the school as they were leaving. Well, it turns out that Pearl is also on these same stairs, going through a bit of the same thing with Lonnie. And Peter tries to console Pearl by saying, whatever it is that Lonnie has going on, he isn't telling you because he wants to protect you. And Pearl's response is, he's supposed to be my partner. And it's up to me what I can and can't handle. He should trust to tell me everything about him and what's going on with him. And Pearl and Peter share a moment that Peter kind of feels is a connection deeper than the friendship that they have. Because remember, he has a crush on Pearl and has since Pearl babysat him when he was younger. However, Pearl still just sees him as Petey, the child that she babysat. Peter leaves because he fumbles around in this conversation, gets very awkward, and makes up an excuse so he doesn't have to be around her anymore. At the same time, Pearl gets a text message from Dre, Lonnie's younger brother. And Dre, tells her what's going on with Lonnie and where he's been when he wasn't at school, not at practice, not at the games. She shows up to the 110th Street Gang's hideout to confront Lonnie, to tell him, this isn't who you are. Why are you here? This is dangerous. Let's go. But remembering the deal he made with Big Donovan, his life for Dre's, he kind of pushes her away, or tries to. He tells her to leave. He doesn't need any help. He's going to be fine. At the same time, Scorpion breaks into the hideout very destructively. He's got his suit on, and he just tears through the wall. And we get an actual murder in this show. Matt Gargan stabs one of the 110th Street gang members and hoists him up in the air with his tail. Now, we don't see the tail go through this person, but we see it go at him, and it cuts very quickly, and he's lifting up this person, and just off screen is where his tail would have gone through the body, but you can see the body dangling without any of the blood or gore. They're serious with this show. Well, Scorpion tears through a bunch of the other henchmen, and he doesn't kill any of them, he just knocks them down. But he makes his way to Big Donovan, and he's got him wrapped up in his tail, and he's going to finish what he started back in the parking lot fight. Well, Lonnie tries to again come to the aid of Big Donovan. Scorpion sees him and goes, "Oh yeah, I remember you." Shifts his focus to Lonnie. And he's about to kill Lonnie when Spider-Man shows up. And Spider-Man and Scorpion fight. And this fight probably lasts 6 or 7 minutes. All the while, Nico and Harry are trying to reconcile whatever is happening between the two of them. While Spider-Man is fighting Scorpion, Harry heads over to Nico's home to try to talk to her. And the setup for this scene is actually kind of weird, because when Norman sends Peter to investigate what Scorpion is doing, he mentions that Harry is on a personal mission, but it seems like they could be saying that Norman sent Harry to go talk to Nico, or that Harry requested some time off so that he could take care of a personal matter. And given the sketchy things we just learned about Norman, it's kind of odd they would phrase it and set it up that way. But Harry is over at Nico's house, and he's trying to apologize and make amends for spilling the secret that she didn't know about Peter. They go out to get some food, and Nico has been wearing this charm necklace the entire series, and it just looks like a pendant. It's a gold circle with a purple gem in the middle, and it's pretty innocuous. But she's out to lunch with Harry. They're up on a roof, actually. They get some pizza, drive up to the roof of some random building, and Harry is trying to say something. He's in the background talking, but it's white noise. You can't really hear what he's saying. And she grabs her charm and says, "Okay, I'll hear him out." But it sounds like she's talking to someone. That's what the scene indicates. It's possible that two things are true. If people have something that they hold dear to them, and it represents a person or an idea, they'll talk to that thing. So that's what the scene presented. She has this thing that's special to her, and when she feels the need for comfort, she confides in this thing. But it also felt like she was literally talking to it and having a conversation with it. So she goes back over to Harry, and they begin actually speaking with one another. And the opposite conversation happens that Peter and Pearl had. Harry explains to Nico that he's a superhero, and what comes along with being a superhero is having a lot of enemies, and risking your identity and existence to these these villains, these enemies, isn't a risk he was willing to take, so he kept that secret from you. And also, by the way, he didn't tell me. I just was there at the right time, at the right place, and that information fell into my lap. So on the way home, to Nico's home, Harry offers to teach Nico how to drive, and he's got the stylized version of an Audi. It's essentially an Audi. It's a very fast sports car. As they're driving down the street, they come up to a stoplight, and someone pulls up next to them in a street car as well, a racing car. And the driver, she recognizes Harry and starts picking on him, and then picking on Nico as well. And Nico gets this overwhelming feeling of confidence and aggression, and she offers to race this other driver, even though she's literally been driving for 30 minutes. But she wants to prove to this other driver that you can't talk to me like that. So they peel out, and it's just a straight line. And at some point, as they're racing down the street, a car comes up in front of Nico and Harry. And the charm that Nico is wearing begins to glow. She swerves out of the way of that car. Harry turns on this turbo. They win the race. And that's all the information we get about that charm. So what they set up at the beginning, just a few minutes ago when they were on the roof, of her talking to this thing is being continued in that scene where it begins to glow. So there is something about this charm that she has on. Peter and Scorpion are in this warehouse fighting. Now, this fight is very well drawn and very well animated. But I'm going to keep saying this until it's not true anymore. Where is his spider sense? It's almost infuriating at this point, just how absent it is. After they get done fighting, well, they get done fighting because Scorpion pierces through Spider-Man's suit and through his body, stabs him, and is beating his face in. He is completely just beating Spider-Man up. He's got bruises, his mask is almost completely broken, coming off, and there's blood everywhere, and there's blood soaking Scorpion's tail. And just as it seems to be the most dire, Norman sends something to help Peter, and it flies from the sky through the hole in the roof that's been created by this fight, and it's a glider. Now, no one's on the glider, but Norman Osborn sent a glider to help Peter. Now, things are set in motion to let us know that the Green Goblin is somewhere. On the horizon, we're probably going to get the Green Goblin. The highlight of this episode for me was that fight between Spider-Man and Scorpion. Even though it should have gone differently if Peter had his spider sense. But regardless, that was the highlight of this episode for me. Thank you for coming to this screening of Real Swell. I hope you enjoyed. As you head out, I've got 3 things to ask of you. 1, pick up your trash. These ushers don't get paid enough. Number 2, make sure you are following so you don't miss the next screening. And number 3, hit that heart for me. I'll see you all next time. Make sure you've got your ticket.